The history of the discovery of America is an epic tale that spans centuries, weaving together the narratives of exploration, ambition, and the clash of civilizations. It is a story that begins with the dreams of ancient mariners and reaches its climax with the bold voyages of Christopher Columbus and other explorers in the late 15th and early 16th centuries. The origins of the discovery can be traced back to the Old World, where rumors of a vast, unexplored land across the Atlantic Ocean tantalized the imaginations of sailors and adventurers. As early as the 4th century BCE, the ancient Greek philosopher Plato spoke of a mythical island called Atlantis, which some believe to be a distant precursor to the Americas. However, it was the Vikings who made the first known European expeditions to North America around the 11th century. Led by Leif Erikson, these Norse explorers established a short-lived settlement in present-day Newfoundland, Canada. Yet, their exploits remained relatively unknown in the broader context of world history, and the Americas remained a distant and mysterious land to most Europeans. Fast forward to the late 15th century. The European powers were in the midst of an age of exploration, driven by a desire for wealth, glory, and the spread of Christianity. The Portuguese, under the leadership of Prince Henry the Navigator, had been probing the west coast of Africa, seeking a sea route to the riches of the East. It was against this backdrop that Christopher Columbus, an Italian explorer sailing under the Spanish flag, proposed a daring plan to reach Asia by sailing westward. Despite facing skepticism from many European scholars and monarchs, Columbus secured the support of Queen Isabella and King Ferdinand of Spain. On August 3, 1492, he set sail with 3 ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Niña, embarking on a journey that would change the course of history. After a long and arduous voyage, Columbus and his crew made landfall in the Bahamas on October 12, 1492. Although he believed he had reached Asia, Columbus had, in fact, discovered a new continent, unknown to Europeans at the time. This pivotal moment marked the beginning of the age of exploration in the Americas. News of Columbus's discovery spread rapidly throughout Europe, sparking a wave of excitement and igniting the imaginations of other explorers. The race to explore and claim the newfound lands began in earnest. Spanish conquistadors, including Hernán Cortés and Francisco Pizarro, ventured into the mainland, encountering advanced civilizations such as the Aztecs and the Incas. In 1497, John Cabot, an Italian explorer sailing under the English flag, explored the coast of North America, possibly reaching as far south as present-day New England. This marked England's initial foray into the age of exploration. Meanwhile, other European powers sought their share of the newfound territories. Amerigo Vespucci, an Italian explorer sailing under the Spanish and Portuguese flags, realized that the lands Columbus had encountered were part of a vast continent previously unknown to Europeans. The name America was derived from Vespucci's first name and became associated with the New World. The early 16th century witnessed a flurry of exploration, with Spanish conquistadors pushing into Central and South America, while Portuguese explorers, led by Vasco da Gama, circumnavigated Africa, establishing trade routes that connected Europe, Africa, and Asia. The quest for wealth and power fueled conflicts between the European powers as they vied for control of the Americas. Treaties such as the Treaty of Tordesillas in 1494 sought to divide the newly discovered lands between Spain and Portugal, providing a framework for colonial expansion. As the Spanish and Portuguese established vast empires in the Americas, other European nations sought to stake their claims. France, led by explorers like Jacques Cartier, explored the St. Lawrence River and claimed parts of Canada. The Dutch, under the Dutch West India Company, established colonies in the Caribbean and along the eastern seaboard of North America. The early interactions between Europeans and the indigenous peoples of the Americas were marked by a complex interplay of cultures, trade, and conflict. The arrival of Europeans brought new technologies, crops, and animals to the Americas, but it also introduced diseases that devastated native populations. The Columbian Exchange, as this interchange came to be known, reshaped the societies and ecosystems of both hemispheres. Over the centuries, the Americas became a melting pot of cultures, languages, and traditions. The Spanish established a vast colonial empire stretching from present-day Mexico to Argentina, leaving a lasting imprint on the language, religion, and culture of the region. In the north, English, French, and Dutch colonies took root, laying the foundations for the diverse tapestry of the United States and Canada.
The quest for wealth and power, however, came at a significant cost. The exploitation of native populations, the forced labor of enslaved Africans, and the decimation of indigenous cultures cast a dark shadow over the history of the Americas. The transatlantic slave trade, in particular, played a central role in shaping the social and economic landscapes of the Americas. As the centuries passed, the Americas witnessed the rise of powerful empires and the struggle for independence. The 18th and 19th centuries saw the emergence of revolutionary movements in the Americas, with figures like Simón Bolívar leading the fight for independence in South America. The United States, born out of a revolutionary fervor against British rule, expanded westward, displacing and often warring with indigenous nations. The concept of manifest destiny fueled the belief that it was the destiny of the United States to expand across the continent. The 19th century also saw the gradual decline of colonial empires in the Americas. Spain and Portugal lost many of their colonies through a series of wars and revolutions. The Monroe Doctrine, articulated by U.S. President James Monroe in 1823, declared that the Americas were off-limits to further European colonization, signaling a shift in the balance of power. The late 19th and early 20th centuries witnessed significant changes in the Americas. The Industrial Revolution transformed economies, and waves of immigration brought diverse populations to the region. The United States emerged as a major global power, intervening in conflicts and asserting its influence across the hemisphere. World War II marked a turning point, with the Americas playing a crucial role in the Allied victory. The post-war era saw the United States and the Soviet Union engage in a Cold War that had profound implications for the region. The Cuban Revolution in 1959, led by Fidel Castro, brought socialism to the doorstep of the United States, leading to decades of tension and conflict. The latter half of the 20th century witnessed significant social and political changes in the Americas. The civil rights movement in the United States sought to address systemic racism, while movements for independence and social justice swept across Latin America. The end of apartheid in South Africa and the establishment of democratic governments in various Latin American countries signaled a new era of hope and change. Today, the Americas stand as a testament to the resilience and diversity of human societies. The legacy of the discovery of America continues to shape the geopolitics, cultures, and identities of the region. As the nations of the Americas navigated the challenges of the 21st century, they do so against the backdrop of a rich and complex history, one that began with the audacious voyages of explorers like Columbus and continues to unfold with each passing day.